Today, I'm going to go over the results for the June month-long challenge for the KF&W, which includes the WKBF, OKBF, and IKBF. For the month of June, the challenge was the Bronze Bag Challenge, a 5-fish limit where only smallmouth counted. Person with the 5 largest smallmouth at the end of the event won the event. It was open to any public river, lake, pond, reservoir, anything public launch you can go to, man. Pretty good event. Lots of fish for college people have participated. No real drama. It was a pretty good month, man. Pretty good month, I think. And before we get to the results, man, just a couple of shout outs for some anglers around the Northwest that are doing some things, man. OKBF's own Matt Walker placed 7th in the California Bass Nation event and qualified to go to Texas for the next tournament. I think it's next year, he said. That's what I read in the post, dude. And, yeah, that's awesome. I think 11 guys went down there to fish that event. They did well. Representing for sure, man. Getting around, getting out there. It's good stuff for sure. And then Jim Davis was mentioned in Kayak Angler magazine for his walleye trips. I guess they do the walleye social, which is coming up in November again. That's awesome. He's the WKBF tournament director as well too. So it's kind of a cool story. There's some walleye mixed in there, dude. I guess he's got a ton of walleye on that stick or whatever it is. He's also got a podcast called Bait and Banter, and it's awesome. It's funny stories for sure. It's definitely just normal conversations. It's good stuff for sure. Yeah. Now let's go on to the results. All right, we're going to start off with the WKBF in Washington, man. Going into the last week of the Bronze Bag Challenge, the top 9 competitors all had 5 fish limits. It was Jordan Duggar, who was in 5th place with 91 inches, and his largest was 19. Orlando Suarez, or OJ, was in 4th place with a total of 91 inches. His largest was 19 and a quarter smallmouth. And that would be enough to win the tiebreaker over Jordan for 4th place. And Pat Moore was in 3rd place with 92 and a half inches. His largest was a 20-inch smallmouth. If you don't know Pat Moore, he has a YouTube channel. He's a really good storyteller. He makes good content. You should definitely check it out. I think it's Pat Moore Outdoors. I'll type it in the description. It just came to my mind just now as we were thinking about it. I decided to write it out. We'll figure it out, dude. Then longtime veteran of the WKBF, Patrick Kelly, he was in 2nd place with a total of 94 inches. His largest is a 20-inch smallmouth bass. Then last year's Bronze Bag Challenge winner, Felipe Sanchez, was closing in on the 100-inch mark going into the final week of the challenge. His total was 97 and a half, and his largest smallmouth was a giant 21 and a quarter inch. And that was going into the last week. I mean, a couple questions. Would Sanchez just be able did they already have enough to secure his lead, man? Was he going to continue to fish, maybe grow up past that 100-yard mark? 100-inch mark? Man, talking about inches all day, dude. I don't know, man. Did you win it back to back, dude? I know he loves the smallmouth challenge. We've talked to him before. Loves it, dude. And then the big bass event was that 21 and a quarter inch caught by Felipe Sanchez. 21 and a quarter inch, dude. That's a giant for sure. Giant. He would take home $190 in the big bass pot, dude. That's crazy. 21 and a quarter inch smallmouth, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know where he caught that at. I have to go talk to him too. Figure that out. Just take all those spots. No, I'm just kidding. Looking at the final results of the Bronze Bag Challenge for the WKBF, man, a few competitors did make some moves in the final week, but only one major change happened to the leaderboard, man, and that was a JR. They don't call me Filthy Bass Hooker for nothing. Rollins, man, for the 2nd month in a row, cold his way up to 2nd place in the final week of the challenge, man. Catching a 20 and a half inch, a 20 and a quarter, and an 18 and a half inch, giving a total of 96 and a quarter inches, and he would finish in 2nd place. He caught all his fish in the final days. Like, I did look it up, or you know what I mean. Look it up, like it's something hidden. But like, I did, but yeah, it was like the 28th of June or something like that. Like it was right towards the end again, dude. That guy's strategy or not, dude. Just trust issues, right, man? Whatever it takes to win. That wasn't crazy again, dude. But it basically pushed everyone back one spot from the going into that final week. Brandon Henning would finish in the 10th spot with a limit and a total of 75 and a quarter inches. Chris Kent finished in 9th place, total of 83 and a quarter inches. Jason Carlson also finished total of 83 and a quarter inches, but his 18 and a half inch would win the tiebreaker over Chris. Mario Prieto caught a giant 19 and a quarter inch smallmouth and was a total of 88 inches, would finish in 7th place. Jordan Duggar was able to reach the 90-inch mark and would finish in 6th place with a total of 90 and 3/4 inches. Orlando Suarez would finish in 5th place by a quarter of an inch over Jordan. He caught a 19 and a quarter inch and finished in 5th with a total of 91 inches. Dude, good deal, man, getting over that 90 mark. And then Pat Moore finished in 4th place with a total of 93 and a quarter inches. His largest was a 19 and a half inch smallmouth. And Patrick Kelly caught a 20-inch smallmouth. Man, what a giant fish, dude. All of these. Like, what are you guys doing? And he went up in 3rd place with a total of 94 inches. Wow, dude. And then J.R. Rollins came back from outside the top 10 to place in 2nd with a total of 96 and a quarter. He almost got to the 100 mark, too. And his largest was that 20 and a half inch smallmouth. And Felipe Rippin' Lip Sanchez, man, he would do it again. He fell just short of the 100-inch mark, but still finished in 1st place with a total of 97 and a half inches. His largest being that giant 21 and a quarter inch that took home some money for that, too. It's an event, dude. Back to back, man. He did it. He's having a good year, too. The challenges, man. The AOI standings are going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to get posted like halfway through. I guess I could do the math and just do it, but I don't want to mess that up. I wouldn't be cool at all, dude. To go around and mess up the AOI standings. No thanks, man. He's definitely got to be for next year. Or I guess Osoyo's too. He's going to be there. That's a smallmouth lake, they say. It's proven, but you know what I mean. It's going to be neat to see what happens there, too, for sure. Moving on to Oregon and the OKBF. Maybe go over their results. Going into the last week for the OKBF Bronze Challenge, the top 9 had caught 5 fish limits, and the top 5 are creeping up to the 100-inch mark. Trying to get up there, man. The smallmouth are being caught all over the place. All 3 of these states, man. Going that last week, Greg Marshall was in 5th place with a total of 90 inches. His longest was 20 and a quarter. And then last month's OKBF Pond Hopper Challenge winner, Michael Jarvis, was in 4th place with 90 and a half inches, just a half inch more than Greg. Am I reading this right? David Tarshish was in 3rd place with a total of 91 inches. His largest fish was a 19 and 3/4 inch smallmouth. Jacob Jarvis is going to the final with a 94 inch and a 3.5 inch lead over his father. It's looking like another Jarvis and Jarvis shootout, man. These challenges are crazy, man. They do so well, man. Going into the thing. Shalise Prasad was in the lead with 97 and a half inches. He's closing in on the 100-inch mark for sure, which leads us to ask, is he going to hold on to that position? Will Jacob make some moves and go on to win the challenge? Man, the results are coming up, but Jacob Jarvis won the OKBF Big Bass spot with a 21 and a quarter inch smallmouth and would also take home $190. Washington and Oregon had the same size largemouth or smallmouth win the event for him, 21 and a quarter. Giants, dude. Giants. The final results for the OKBF, man, lots of changes happened. It was definitely more changes than the other 2 clubs. By far, I would say. Yet many calls were made, positions changed, and even a disappearance, man. I don't know the details, and it's not my place to speculate. I only report what I see, man. And the leader going to the final week, Shalish Prasad, is no longer the leader, even on the Turning Yanks leaderboard. I'm not sure what happened. Not really my business. But Sheree Childs caught a 4-fish limit and finished in 10th place with a total of 59 inches. Timothy Davis caught a 4-fish limit and would finish in 9th place with a total of 60 and a half inches. Tim was outside the top 10 going into the final week of this challenge, so he caught up all the way up to what? 10th place? No, 9th. So he caught up all the way to 9th place, man, get himself some points, get on the AOI board. Little more. Jeremy Fischel called up 2 1/4 inches and would finish in 8th place with a total of 70 and a half inches. Carlos Craig caught a 5-fish limit, a giant 18 and a half inch, and he would finish in 7th place with a total of 82 inches. Jason McClure didn't make any moves on the leaderboard in the final week when finished in 6th place with a total of 85 and a quarter inches. Not bad, though. Top 6? Shoot, man. Even like 85 inches is like 6th place these days. That's kind of wild, especially in like a smallmouth only challenge. Very cool. Bryce Reisenauer called up 3 positions and would finish the challenge in 4th place with a total of 89 and a half inches. His largest was a 19 and a half inch smallmouth. Greg Marshall called up 3 1/4 inches, and that would move him into the leaderboard from 5th to 3rd with a total of 93 and a quarter inches. The Jarvis and Jarvis duo would battle it out for the top spot for the 2nd consecutive month. Dude, what a wild experience competing against your own family members, dude, like every month. It's wild, dude. It's gonna come down to it's gonna be neck and neck, dude, towards the end of this season. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out for sure. For sure. Michael Jarvis chased his son for the entire month of June, but in the end he would fall short by 3.5 inches. And last month's winner would take second place with a total of 96.5 inches. Crazy, dude. 96.5 inches couldn't do it. That's kind of wild, dude. I mean, 3.5 inches out of 100, if my math's correct. Public education. Sorry. But Jacob Jarvis refused to be beat by his father for a second time, or anyone for that matter, with an impressive 102.75 inches. Dude, he went over the 100 mark by 2 3/4 inches, man. That's wild, man. And he would win the event. His smallest bass was a 19-inch smallmouth. His largest was at 21 1/4 inch. He's won 2 of the 3 challenges, and the lowest finish, the second place finish. He's put himself in a great position for the challenge series AOI, that's for sure. And his father, Michael Jarvis, isn't too far behind either. I guess Manley said checks will be in the mail, dude. Make sure y'all got that mail key. I'm saying, like, come home to a new piece of furniture, a pet. I get extra money. I buy dumb stuff. Saying. Just saying. Now we're moving into Idaho, man. Going to the last week, the top 10 had all caught their limits of smallmouth. Caden Olson was in 5th place going to the last week. He had a total of 87 3/4 inches and a 19 1/4 inch smallmouth for biggest bass. That's a giant. Dan Zimmershed was in 4th place with a total of 89 inches, just 1 inch shy of the 90-inch mark. Moving on up for sure. Andrew Love was in 3rd place with a total of 90 3/4 inches. His biggest was a 19 3/4. Skylar Talbot was in 2nd place with a total of 97 1/4 inches, and a monster 21 3/4 inch smallmouth was his big bass. Wow, dude, 21 3/4 inches, 21 1/4 inches for Washington and Oregon. Idaho came and crushed it with a 21 3/4, and it's a giant fish, dude. A giant fish, dude. And then Rick Thanstrom is in the lead for the 2nd month in a row with a total of 99 1/4 inches, just 1 inch shy of the century mark. Not even 3/4 inch shy of the century mark. Certainly getting there for sure. Skylar Talbot won the Big Bass event pot for the IKBF. Took home $114, dude. Not bad at all, man. His big, 21 3/4 inch giant of a smallmouth, dude. It's kind of insane, 21 3/4 inch smallmouth. That's Idaho, though, right? Wonder where he fished for that. He's out there, dude. Hit me up, man. We'll talk for sure. And then, yeah, going into the finals, man, like, according to the Turnips leaderboard, only 2 people made calls and moved up the leaderboard, and everything else stayed practically the same. Ryan Flory moved up 1 position with a 2-inch coal, taking it from 6th place to 5th place, and Caden Olson moved to 6th place with a total of 87 3/4 inches. Ivan Cruz coaled his way up to 10th place with a total of 81 3/4 inches, and Brad Andrews would fall back to 11th place with 80 1/4. Caden Steiner finished 9th place with a total of 83 1/4 inches. Zane Bullard finished 8th place with a total of 85 inches. Jim Carey finished in 7th place with 85 1/4 inches. All these guys are really close. Between those 3 spots, there's only 2 inches of a difference, man. That's nuts. Dan Zimmershed finished in 4th place with a total of 89 inches. And then Andrew Love made it over the 90-inch mark, and he would finish in 3rd place with a total of 90 3/4 inches. And then Skylar Talbot with a big bass, man, he would finish in 2nd place with 97 1/4 inches. It's a giant fish, dude. Giant. I wonder how much it weighed, or they even got that stuff. And then for the 2nd month in a row, Rick Thanstrom, man, takes the win with 99 1/4 inches. His smallest fish was a 19 1/4. His largest was 21 1/4 inches. His largest fish was the same 2 big fish at Washington, Oregon. That's nuts, dude. These guys are catching giant smallmouth out here in the Pacific Northwest. Giants, like, the whole leaderboard's full of them. 19s, 20s, 18s, 21s. There's a lot of stuff going on for sure. Next month's challenge is the No Limit Pick Your Day Challenge. Up to 50 large to smallmouth or any combination of the 2 species will count. The 14-inch minimum is in place. Competitors are given 5 days to choose from and only get to pick 1 day to fish. The challenge isn't a month long. It's only a day to catch as many bass or 14 inches as possible. This is one challenge that kind of levels out the playing field. You know what I mean? You have to pre-pick your day ahead of time. You don't know what the weather's gonna be like. I mean, you might, if you're good at like meteorology or something. You know what I mean? I only have a 10-day forecast. I ain't got no 14s or 21s. That's a cool event though. And then for July, the tour events, you got IKBF July 13th at Coeur d'Alene Lake. I saw they had 38 people signed up so far. The sign up for that's coming up soon if it hasn't already passed. And then WKBF July 20th at Soyuz Lake. That's gonna be interesting, man. We have some pretty hard hitting smallmouth fishermen. That's a heavily populated smallmouth lake. Some giants have been in there that we've heard too. So that one's gonna be one to watch for sure. They all are. Coeur d'Alene too. They got some giants. The Coeur d'Alene's kind of an interesting one. It's a really nice area. And then OKBF fishes Prineville Reservoir on July 27th, and that'll be hot. Probably. It's already hot down here, man. I think it was like what 109 today in the east side. I don't know Tri-Cities, but Prineville's not too bad. It's actually pretty far. 4 hours. I'm just rambling at this point. What am I doing? But yeah, if you want to be on the show or anything, let me know. Send me up, tumorcast@yahoo.com or Instagram, tumorcast. It's the best way to get a hold of me for sure. Sometimes I get busy. I got work. Like 4th of July is probably the busiest time ever for what I do, which was unexpected, to be honest. But yeah, we have podcasts coming next week. Everything's going back to normal. It's just been one of those crazy months, man. I don't really know how to explain it. But yeah, that'll be it.